Hello, everyone, and welcome to Z Talk. In this installment, I'm bringing you a longtime friend, colleague, brother of mine, and a confidant because a lot of times when I'm in doubt about things or have some new concept or project, he's probably one of the first people I come running to get his input. He's very intelligent and very articulate in what he does. His name is Claudio Alegre, and I was just talking to him a minute ago before we opened up the show. That I look at him, it's like I'm a Renaissance man. This guy he's just, and everything he does it good, really good, great. So I wanted to bring him on the show, have everybody meet him. And then after he does his introduction of what he does and how he does it and where his value proposition is, then we're going to talk about the new normal and see how that has affected the way that he does business with his clients and everything else. So, Claudio, it's yours, man. It's your floor now.
I'm in Z Talk.
You're live on Z Talk now.
I'm live on Z Talk.
Glad to have you here.
Thank you. I've been watching the progress, pretty interesting, and I'm loving the show. And so it's great to be part of it. So I was stoked when you called me to kind of like, hey man, it's your time.
Yeah. Well, if you're open, we can do this once a month and just do it on a regular basis.
Oh, like a regular game. Oh, that would be great.
Every month. I have the same thing with my friend Glenn. So we're doing something similar. So if he's listening, hey Glenn. Just something that when we have people of similar minds, and it's always good to bring them together once in a while and share with our network and our colleagues. So
sure.
Anyway, back to you.
So the show airs on LinkedIn primarily, right?
It's on LinkedIn. I also do some posting to Facebook.
Okay.
I do some posting to Instagram, and I'm just kind of starting up some Twitter. So it's a kind of an evolution, but it did start primarily with LinkedIn, and that's where the majority of my activity is right now.
Okay, cool.
And YouTube, obviously, I have the YouTube channel.
Okay, cool. So what do you want to know, baby?
Well, listen, tell my audience, everybody, what are the things that Claudio does? Obviously, we all have to make money in our lives and pay some bills, and like you're talking about, your kids now, teenagers. I'm sure you have some interesting financial challenges there, but how just how you go about your day, what you do, what kind of clients are you talking to? What type of solutions are you bringing, to that market? And maybe, one of our listeners might have a need and, they can work some business with you.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, you're right. We all have to pay the mortgage. The idea is how to do it in a way that we make a dent in the universe, right? That we can actually help people get what they want, achieve what they want, regardless of what you do. And so I keep that front and center as much as possible in my day-to-day. It's almost like a North Star, But Henry, I would say that I spend most of my time trying to persuade people to talk less about themselves and more about their clients and customers and prospects, headaches, problems, and frustrations, right? Because when you do that, your business grows inevitably.
Right.
It's almost like a cork underwater when you let it go. Okay, it's gonna shoot up and to the surface, and so there's a few people that heed the advice, and then those two people fall into camps. One camp is, hey, teach me how to do that, and the other camp is, hey, do that for me.
Right.
But I'm with you, and then I do that in the realm of the real estate industry, finance, and SaaS. Okay, as of lately, so I'm involved in a group that is the marketing and sales arm for a startup SaaS company, primarily in the marketing automation technology, which is right now a necessity if you want to humanly scale, right? And I emphasize the word humanly. I don't have a problem explaining to everybody why I have certain automations. And it's because your job as a business owner, regardless of what you sell, is to try to help as many people as possible, right? And so you have to put yourself in a position where you're omnipresent, you know, but you got to keep it human at the same level. You can't be a dick, you know.
Right. Gotcha.
You know, I don't know if are you running a PG-13 environment here, or am I gonna get bleeped?
I think that word will
get bleeped.
It'll just make it.
It's on the fringe. All right, good.
On the fringe, but it'll just make it.
You know, and so that's why I asked you if this was going to be aired on LinkedIn, because on LinkedIn in my profile you can if you're on LinkedIn, I don't usually, and I spend quite a bit of time there talking to.
I've seen those too, so you're doing well too.
Yeah,
on those.
I'm not as aggressive in there as I am in other platforms, but so my profile pretty much tells the story of that, and then I'm so that's what I spend my time right now. Mostly is working with a specific group of people like realtors and mortgage brokers to help them basically grow their businesses using automation technology. And then that's my focus: copywriting, so the message, positioning the message, right? Okay. And then creating the tools to scale that, right?
Hey, your video went off.
My video went off?
Yeah, you're talking about it. I can't see your video.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it,
So when you're doing all this and as you're evolving and everything, let's get into a topic that everybody's been talking about now recently, because everything that we're going through as a society.
Yep.
And I don't have to name everything, but they're all like they were used, omnipresent. Everything is right there in our face with different levels of challenges. Every business, I think, has had to figure out some way to evolve or morph into something else, or not so much change, but just they've had to tweak and they've had to adjust to, I guess I'll use the word, the new normal, right? So how we adjust to the new normal. I think every business maybe has a different take on it, and our clientele has a different take on it, because some industries got hit harder than others. Some are booming and some are tanking. So I'd like to get your feedback based on, your demographic as far as your clients and even your own business,
Sure.
How you and they are adjusting to the new normal. I don't know if it's a better normal or a worse normal. I just know that it's different than what it was back in, February, March. So what do you think?
Yeah, well, I think that this is commercial Darwinism at best, right? Okay. And if you read that guy, and I'm paraphrasing, I think the species that survive are the ones that not only survive but thrive, are the ones that adapt faster, right? While creating value for that ecosystem.
Right.
So obviously at the front lines, at the onset of this, hospitality, restaurants, pure food business, retails, they just got hammered. They got,
and the cruising, obviously the cruise industry got hammered.
Yeah, the travel and tourism. Yeah, travel and tourism, right? Tourism, hospitality, right? The restaurant business, anything where someone has to open a door to go in somewhere or pack a bag, right? All that just got decimated, right? And we're gonna see, you and I locally, a lot of businesses are gonna, basically are not gonna make it. June was the last month where most people that got the stimulus that ran out. This month.
Right.
And so some people make good investments with that. Other people's basically hunker down. I look at black swan events like these that are not foreseeable, right? And all of that in the middle of a recession, right? In a year that's an election year, right? So it's a party now.
Oh my gosh! Right? No, it's like
it's a party.
It's a perfect storm, as they say, right?
It's a party now. Yeah. And so, but to me, and that's just me, how my brain works, is to me, that's opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as you know, we're immigrants, right? You know,
Right.
so when you have an immigrant mentality, you are always facing that hydra, right? You cut its head off and then two more come up, right? And you cut a head off and then three more come up, right? So your life has been about dealing with adversity and persevering through that adversity. And so
Right.
this is at a global scale.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so I think the businesses that adapt faster and the people that, you know, are hustling to not only survive, but then to create value along that value chain, right,
Mm-hmm.
are the ones that you're seeing that are starting to 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 have a chance at not only surviving but thriving. Another point is that it's a wake up call, quote unquote, told you so, in terms of there's a lot of, you know, if you're a restaurant, there hasn't ever been an excuse for you not to have everybody's database within a mile of your business, because statistically, chiropractors, dentists, anybody who's what I call village business, right? Your business comes 97% of your business statistically comes from within a mile of your geotag,
right, of your
right?
establishment, yeah,
of your establishment. So you figured you would have a database with everybody's address, phone number, birthday, right? And so that you could actually reach out to them, okay? Pre-COVID, this is something that when I don't really work with restaurants, but I've had a few friends of mine that have restaurants, and my thing has always been, you know, birthday marketing, right? Let everybody know that your slowest day, Tuesday, is when you have the best deals. Have them, you know, come their friend, but you need automation technology for that. And right now we have that at our fingertips, right? And it's very easy to do that these days. You're a tech guy, so you understand database, right? You live and breathe for years. You've lived and breathed that, you know. So this is one of those moments where I think people are going to realize what's always been the case, which is you really need to pay attention to your customer, to your potential clients, to your prospects, to your village.
Right.
I think try to be put yourself in a position where you can help them, because they're also going through the same thing.
Correct.
Right? People still need to eat. All right. And if I like you know, pollo a la plancha, you know, at my favorite place, I'm going to order it regardless of what's happening.
Correct.
And so you need to put yourself in a position to continue to show up for your market. Okay. Now, some of us that work in the technology space, to me, it's been really a hockey stick growth. Really, Sundays and Tuesdays didn't have any meaning for the first 2 to 3 months, because it's just literally been crazy for someone that does what I do. Right. Because then you have everybody showing up saying, help me with this, help me with that, plus your own client base, plus the projects you got going on the side, right? Plus the family business, you know, all of that basically, it comes up on you, you know, and it's been kind of crazy in a good way. And then I've had to make some tough decisions regarding, you know, creating some boundaries, you know, because then I would never spend any time with my family while being at home.
I know.
That's crazy, but
it's like I work more here than at the office.
I was talking to my wife about that the other day. I mean, you know, I am busier primarily at home during the first 60 days. And now I'm commuting to the office from time to time and doing like what you're doing, you know, like the shows, because I also publish, you know, through my group, a series, right? Which, by the way, I'm going to invite you pretty soon to.
I look forward to it.
On the reverse,
awesome.
You know.
Awesome. That's the way this works.
Yeah, you know.
I'm already excited.
and I think that you're a super interesting guy, right? So that's going to be a pretty good show, because even though you live in the channel, well, you've lived in the channel, you're a B2B guy, right?
Right.
You know, I think that for that group of people, you know, you have a pretty interesting story to tell. So that's how I see the new norm. I see the new norm primarily through a lens of opportunity, okay, and of always be ready to change. And also, Henry, one big thing, right? And you're an example of this. The need to collaborate, right? They need to collaborate
Super important.
And to basically get other people's be a beacon of opportunity for other people to spread their message, because I don't see any hermits creating six-figure businesses in the next decade. If you're a loner, you're gonna have to.
No, you have to.
You're gonna have to go to a. You're gonna have to. Yeah, you're gonna have to go to a therapist so he can help you through some issues that you may be having, right?
Or watch our videos every month.
Or watch your videos every month. You know, and
we'll morph them.
and you're gonna have to, you know, because right now I think collabs are the new norm. Everybody, it's never been more present than it is now, you know. And it's always been the case, Henry.
Yeah.
For us that are naturally networking.
Yeah, for us, we never see a difference, you know.
Exactly.
But we had to change, because I had thought about doing these videos back in December when I wrote up my 2020 business plan. I wanted to do videos and just kind of focus on technology and just kind of bring that to the market, some value proposition, right? As far as different type of technologies and subject matter experts in those areas.
Yep.
But I had a whole different approach to it. I bought a microphone and a camera. I was going to go on site, right? Interview the person. They'd be sitting next to me. It was a whole different concept. And then the minute quarantine hit, I said, "Oh shoot!" It's like anybody, right? I have to adjust that approach. So what happens is Zoom happened, and Teams happened, and all those just exploded, because this is the way that we're communicating, meeting, and talking these last few months. And I can't tell you how many of these Zoom videos I've had in the last 3-4 months. Hundreds, it seems like, you know? So because of this tool, I was able to not only accelerate, but just kind of take it in a whole different direction, where I can do these, 2 or 3 times a week or more, and not affect what I do in my regular business. So this is not something that I'm doing, on my own. I am, I'm promoting my particular Z Talk brand as far as it relates to the videos. But the company I work for, IT Savvy, is right there shoulder to shoulder, because that's the technology vendor for me that brings everything to the table. And every vendor that we work with, I try to showcase. But I've had to change my approach of how I network. I've been a member of the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce, for example. Well, those are monthly meetings, right? You're meeting people, shaking hands. That changed. So how does my network on LinkedIn know I exist? So I had kind of that paradigm shift. I went, no, I have to be now forward with this. Change my approach and let them know I'm here. I'm here to build relationships. I'm here to show value, and at the moment that they're ready for the technology or ready to do something technology-wise, hopefully they've seen me enough and say, well, you know what, I'd like to give this guy an opportunity to talk with us and see what he can bring to the table to help us with our pains, frustrations, like you said, but also some of their objectives. There are a lot of companies that are booming in this time, and obviously, like I mentioned earlier, some that are tanking. But I'm just here to bring value and
different problems.
Yeah, right. So I just figured out a different way for me to bring value, and I'm excited about it. I've never been a video person. I think I have a pretty laid back personality generally. So I hopefully don't come out and offend people with anything I say, but I'm pretty like laid back, and and I just want to help people. That's just my nature.
Yeah.
Like you've known me forever, 30 some years. I like to help people.
Yeah, and it's if you were to transcribe the first 30 seconds of what you just said right now,
right?
What you would have noticed, or what would stand out, is that you needed to make a change to be there for other people,
right?
As opposed to I needed to make a change to pay my mortgage. I get it. Everybody has to pay their mortgage, but that cannot be your primary driver, because then once you pay your mortgage, then what do? What's your purpose?
Exactly.
That's the issue with that, right?
Right.
You need to be driven by something that's bigger than yourself at all times. And if you don't have it, find it. Mm-hmm. Find it, because that's what's going to really get you through through the hard times, you know, through the tough times, and then, you know, and then when the good times come, you know, then you got to keep the same hunger, right? That's when people like us,
Exactly.
that's the danger time for people like us. Good
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. I was watching another video here about maybe like 3 weeks ago, and the gentleman was saying about the videos. He said when you're doing these videos and or posting on LinkedIn, whatever it is that you're doing, he said do it and be consistent at it. He says every week, you know, whatever number it is that you do a week, do that every single week. So what you're saying is true. Is that once not okay, let's say now we hit that quote unquote success level, whatever that
Looks like.
right, whatever it is to each of us. Okay, don't stop, because that's what got you there.
Yeah.
Right. And the guy said be consistent. So if you're consistent the whole time, you know, success will be right there with it. And you just got to keep hammering. So that's my message to people is don't give up. You know, I've had some tough times and I've struggled, but I don't give up. I get right back up and I reinvent something or I change something to make myself better and more resilient. And that's what I'm trying to be, is more resilient. You know, when things change, I can move quickly.
Yeah, you're Air Force. You know, you're gonna work on you're gonna work on your parachute first. Your parachute has to work.
Well, it's the same as sports. The first thing you do is learn defense. Yeah. Right? Learn how to stop the other guy, then worry about the offense later.
Exactly.
So, right. Get the parachute work, and then we'll jump later. But make sure the parachute can open.
The thing opens, right?
Yeah. So before you go on offense, make sure your defense works.
Right. And so what we see is that there were a lot of businesses that didn't even think about the parachute.
Yeah.
Because this was never even a remote possibility. I think that we're going to come out better. When I did a couple of talks early on my and digital business survival, the group on Facebook, and it was basically, how can a restaurant make a quick turnaround right now, right? Because people still have needs. And then I did the same thing for, and I'm putting together a series right now for realtors and mortgage brokers, and then business in general. So, you know, as you know, when you produce one of these babies, people see the result of you doing it, but they don't see how much you have to prepare. Right. You know, and pre-record, and then you have to produce it, and then you have to edit it, and then you have to stitch it, and then you have to do these little things, right? It's a lot of work.
It is.
Right? It's a lot of work. And then on top of that, you're doing your thing. You can't stop doing what you do.
Right.
You know,
doing your JOB, whatever
the JOB or your business or whatever, you know. But I think that I'm bullish. Okay, I'm positive. My mind was always staying positive. Everybody that I talked to, it was about. And then, in fact, the people that I couldn't convince to be positive, I didn't get emotionally invested. I just walked away.
Right.
You know, you do your thing. I'ma be me.
Yeah.
You know,
I'ma be me.
I'ma be me. So I'm not trying to, you know, make you see the world the way I see it. But if you want to take a shot, here's perhaps something that you want to try, you know, and test it. I'm a marketer, so I live testing stuff to see that works. What I feel or believe doesn't really matter. Is what you feel or believe about what I'm talking about and what I'm putting out there. And so that's my data, you know. That's my data, you know. That's my data set, you know.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, this has been a great conversation, and I think if you're open to it, you know, we can do this once a month or so, depending on our schedules. I'm glad you like my new look.
I love the look.
I have to go with it now. It's too late now.
It's too late for everybody else, actually. It's
too late.
They're not going to be, if anybody was thinking about doing some, you know, a little Bahama look, you know, or a little tropical business.
Look, you know, I'll get my cigar next time. I'll be popping it up here a little bit. So
yeah, you should turn the fan on behind you and turn off the smoke alarms and then just go at it, you know.
There you go.
Open a window.
There you go, man. Well, Claudio, man, thank you so much for being on my show. I look forward to being on your show whenever you have that. Count me in. And obviously, I'll see you again next month in some sort of video format. And in the meantime, you know, to my Z Talk viewers, I hope you enjoy our show today and our conversation around the business that, Claudio's in, and how he, goes about his, his mindset to be successful. And then also our little talk here around the new normal and how that's impacted our lives, business and otherwise. So stay tuned for my next series. So everybody be well. Claudio, thank you again. Say hi to the family for me, please.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I love them and I miss them. So hope to see them soon.
All right, man. Take care.
All right. Take care.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.